How's it going, garden people? Welcome to the Hidden Gardens. Today we're going to work on the side yard garden transformation, starting first with placing the plants really late spring. Now this transformation happened over the period of both the summer and straight into the fall of this past year. So we're able to see this whole area come together over the whole gardening season. Rain delays and many obstacles get in the way of a gardener, but come the time that summer rolled around, I was finally able to start planting in this area. Now, no, I said planting, not weeding. So I feel like I did this area a little backwards than I would normally do, but we did eventually get there in the end. I was able to get a bunch of hydrangeas into the ground on this day, all paniculata except for 2 of them are oak leaf. I'll do a video come the summer when they're in bloom if you want to know all the varieties, so be sure to subscribe so that you can catch that future video and follow along on my gardening journey, whether you're a new gardener, a longtime gardener, or just someone looking to have a secret garden space. Feel free to come along and hang out with me on my channel. Now, this is what I mean by I went backwards, because I would have normally put paper bags down, a layer of compost and loam, and smothered all the weeds that are here. But instead, in an effort to just get things in the ground in the short time that I had and get things going, now we've got a mix of weeds and planted plants. But we did manage to get everything in the ground, and that's what mattered most for these hydrangeas, to get them in sooner than later. And look how pretty. And with the changing of the season from summer into fall, I was able to get more plants into the ground. We're going for now some abelias, which are evergreen and actually really, really pretty, as well as seal up the borders here. So first up we have a star magnolia, and that gets about 15 feet tall, 15 feet wide. It's one of the oak leaves right there. And the evergreens in the back, we went with Castle Spire, 4 of those, as well as 1 pollinator, Castle Wall. And those get about 6 to 10 feet tall. Castle Wall's a little bit smaller, all about 4 feet wide. And as you can see, I'm planting some salvias. Those run about under 2 feet tall and about 2 to 3 feet wide. And those will be in between the hydrangeas. Now, eventually they might be shaded out, but for now, since the hydrangeas are small, and I do plan to kind of limb them up a bit, we'll see how things turn out. Some of these were pulled up from the other side of the garden, and some of these were fall clearance plants, so don't judge them too harshly. We have a Blue Wonder catmint. These are all low-growing evergreen to semi-evergreen type plants, with the tallest getting about 4 feet tall, and they range from like 2 to 3 feet to 5 feet wide or so, but very pretty color. Furthest back we have Brilliantina, and then goes Tres Amigos into Kaleidoscope, and then Funshine is the smallest one. A few more catmints kitten around and drop more in the back there, and then Wildfire Stonecrop sedum, which gets a couple of inches, about 6 inches tall and about 14 to 18 wide. Really, really pretty sedum. And of course some Dusty Miller, went into the new, or what will be the new cut flower garden area. And finally, I'm starting to get a hang on the weed situation. Paper bags within the garden beds, and where the walkways are, I go for cardboard. Things are starting to shape up in this area though. That little blue tree is a blue cloak white fir. It's an evergreen conifer, and it'll get about 8 feet tall to 4 feet wide over about a 10-year period. It's a very slow grower, and it's hardy down to zone 4. So just a note about work, no progress, no results are gonna end up if you don't put in the work. And that's one of the most important parts, is just putting in the work, getting things done, regardless of what you're trying to tackle. All these beds will be nice and ready for me when it comes to planting up this spring with all the cut flowers that I'm starting just about now to start sowing in little teeny trays, but they're going to need somewhere to go, and they can go here now. Okay. I know what you're thinking, but in my defense, they were really pretty when I was looking at them on the screen. But now, yes, I have to plant them. And yes, it was definitely a lot of work, but I think the payoff will be pretty spectacular. I opted for daffodils simply because we do have a high population of rabbits in the area, and I've since actually covered the blue hollies just at least until they get a bit bigger, so that they're protected from the rabbits' reach. Yes, that's me, completely ignoring the spacing requirements for planting all these daffodils. But ultimately, planting them in drifts just made more sense to me. So we'll see what it looks like in the spring and how things come up. Dividing later, if they naturalize, is future me's problem. This is the first time using the auger. For me, I picked one up down at the local hardware just to kind of, help with this particular task. So I didn't get, a nice big one. It's just a small one. They're buried deeper than they look, and hopefully come spring it'll be a fabulous show. One final task to take care of before the winter really sets in. So I hope this video has inspired you in some way to continue along on your own gardening journey, whatever that looks like for you, and thank you for coming along on mine.